Hi, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oprah.
and me, Banshee.
And this,
Happy April Fool's Day, or should we say, unhappy April Fool's Day.
this is the Unhappy Hour.
Be prepared to find out where it hurts. We all have pain. We all go through things in our life. And, this will help us take a look at it and possibly deal with it. This started off as a joke. We were trying to do something funny for, and then we thought, wouldn't it be fun to spoof happy hour with unhappy hour, right?
But to some degree, we couldn't remain true to our roots of being able to be helpful even in that. So we've designed a reading that we think takes a lot of that into account.
And so whatever he said, and basically this is the fun part of the show. This might be the April Fool's part of the show.
Right.
I am using the Affirmators. The Affirmators deck for our card for the collective today.
All right.
And we will see how it goes. I have my bunny ears. I didn't have bunny, but I do have my Aries ram. So we are good to go. We are good to go here. Why don't I have you shuffle this first? I'll shuffle last, and I'll let you draw a card, Mr. O, from the Affirmators deck. Let's see what good advice they have for us today, if he doesn't ruin my deck. So, you'll have to tell us what you think of this reading. Obviously, we are going to be live in the chat today. Oh, I said I was going to pick the card.
Too late.
I didn't even get to shuffle.
Oh.
That's okay.
Well, let's just do that and then we'll cut it out.
No. It's okay. It's connection. Well, now you want to cut it out because of everything I said. Fine, we can cut this out. Let's do it again. Let's start with that again, okay?
If you just shuffle them as if I've given it to you. Give it to me, and I will hand it to you.
Yes, that's what you were... Yes, okay.
And now it's your turn.
You could have put more shuffle... Well, okay.
It's going to be...
You did.
Edited.
Bloopers are us.
You got to think like a studio.
Bloopers are us. When are we going to have the Unhappy Hour, the bloopers? Today.
I'm waiting for you to make that biggest one of all.
Today. All right, fine, Mr. O.
Yeah, wouldn't
Pull
that be
one.
fate?
Oh, look. What do you got? Friendliness. Friendliness. Let's show that little alligator type creature here.
Uh-huh.
Crocodile. Whenever I smile, I make someone's day better. What a cool way to buy happiness for free. I will remember what an awesome power I hold, and I'll take joy in improving lives simply by giving away grins like crazy. Note, in a pinch, money will also work. I don't think there's an April Fool to this. It's very good. You know what? Smiling little things can brighten a person's day. And we should think about that at other times than unhappy hour.
All right.
That's what I have for the collective today. All right. Let's get rolling. Oh, we got to explain the readings.
So now, like most of our recorded readings, in most of our shows, we'll do readings for the elemental signs of the zodiac. So we'll go through the air, the fire, the water.
This is no exception.
So we're going to do it that way. The reading will be for each of those elemental qualities.
And I think you will, well, you'll have to tell us what you think of this reading.
Yeah, we'd love to have feedback.
And also, finally, there is a special announcement at the end of this video.
And your turn.
And no, we're not replacing happy hour with this. Fear not. One more. And let's do it. What are we doing? We're doing air signs, right? Air signs. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarians. Okay. Okay, well, you can do it. Okay, the first card is what is or will be making the air signs unhappy.
And as in happy hour, where all cards are turned upright, in unhappy hour, all cards are turned reversed.
We're doing all reversals for this reading.
And that's no joke.
That's no April Fool's joke.
So the first card is the reversed Seven of Pentacles.
So what is making you unhappy? It seems like something that you air signs have been working towards, trying to build for yourself, has been either taking too long, or you're just very unsatisfied with the results, and you're thinking seriously that it may be time to move on. But that's not making you very happy.
Well, you just feel like, something isn't quite right there. You expected more, but maybe part of it too is that you didn't really think things all the way through. You saw through part of it, and now you realize you didn't think through all of it, and so you're wondering if you'll be able to salvage things.
Yeah. So how are you dealing with, or will be dealing with, this unhappiness, air signs?
And it's the reversed Knight of Pentacles.
Oh, not very well. I mean, it could be worse. I would say this, that, the problem here seems to be that you are in a state of depression right now. You need to ground yourself. You need to center yourself because, you're not dealing with this well. It's the depression or the dwelling on what didn't work is causing you to just stand still. You're not moving. You just feel kind of unmotivated.
You're over cautious to the point that maybe you're paralyzed, or you're paralyzed to the point of over caution that you are maybe just really doubtful of what moves to make.
Yeah. So, are these unhappy feelings justified?
It's the reverse Two of Cups.
Oh, is this a relationship you are trying to build, air signs? I sense that could be some of it, or a partnership. It does seem like it's justified for you because something fell apart, and it seems to, or whatever you are working on may have affected, and this depression and dwelling may affect, your relationship. So in that regard, is your feelings justified, or do you need to get over it so that, you don't destroy other things in your life?
Right. Whether it was an actual relationship of any, range there, or just a collaboration between people who had same interest, that's what it feels like, that... How is the question phrased?
Oh, we're sorry for the noise you might be hearing in the background that seems to have gotten louder now. It's our neighbors, so we apologize. Okay, I'm sorry.
How is the question phrased?
The question is, are the unhappy feelings justified?
So yes, it would clearly, seem to indicate that you felt really the collaboration fell apart, whatever it was.
Oh boy, so how do you turn that frown upside down? It's the Three of Swords reversed.
Well, it's the exact opposite of the Two of Cups reversed in a way.
Well, in a way, what it is saying is you need to heal. You need to let this go. You need to let the loss and the sense of sorrow, process it. Process it, grieve if you must, but do something to provide yourself with some closure here, that you are now able to move on. Whether you're moving on from a failed relationship or whether you're moving on from a failed project or goal onto new and better things.
The overall idea is however you have to do it, you have to figure out how you can heal yourself. And so that does suggest that maybe whatever was torn asunder was something that really did have a lot of value to you. It may not have been a primary relationship, but it was something that really you feel now you will need to kind of give yourself some quality time.
And that's what we have for you. Well, do we want to recap? I guess we'll just quickly recap. This is our first one, so we may go longer than we will normally go. But at any rate, we would normally go on other readings, I was meant to say. So at any rate, the Seven of Pentacles here just indicates that plans seem to have failed on you. Maybe something you were trying to build, whether it was in your personal life with a relationship or in business or projects or goals, it just fell apart.
Right. It wasn't going to happen, and probably you didn't understand the steps you needed to take it beyond.
And you need to deal with this better than just dwelling on it. You need to really do something now instead of being lacking the motivation that was card 2. You put it.
Don't allow yourself to be paralyzed into no movement.
And then card 3 was 2 of Cups, which is our unhappy feelings justified. Yeah, you feel you've lost something significant here. Either you've lost people over this, followers, supporters, or lovers, friends, and yeah, you feel a loss.
So I agree with that. So really, it's only the last card done, figuring out what you can do, to heal yourself.
And move on. That's what we have for you, air signs. Good luck with that.
So now we will move to the fire signs.
All right, I shuffle first.
Fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius.
Aries!
And when I think about it, this is our first our first show where we've done this.
Yeah.
And we work together with those elemental signs. Normally, we're just reading for people.
Well, we read the modalities together, but that's different.
That's different, right. Yes.
Yeah. But it is astrological.
Because I almost said modalities.
I know.
We just can't stop.
I gotta hold my lamb for support. My emotional support lamb. Hey there. Okay. Those are very thin cards. They will bend very easily.
Well, I'd rather catch them before they fall.
They're still available for purchase if they bend. All right. All right. So where does it hurt, Mr. O?
Well, you're the fire
signs. Let's see what we've got, fire signs. Let's see what's hurting us right now. Oh my goodness. Well, this is an interesting card for this position. It's the Eight of Swords reversed. And I have to look at it a little bit inversely here. Maybe or maybe not. What hurts might be, that you have all this confidence in yourself. You now are going out and maybe expressing yourself more. And maybe you feel it's falling on deaf ears, fire signs, that nobody's paying attention to you, and, it took you a while to muster up this strength to do something or to present something, to go for that job interview, for example, and you're not getting, what you felt you would out of it.
Although this card is a good prognosis, the Eight of Swords reversed, in this context, it could be saying that you realized you were deceived or manipulated into thinking you had no power, you had limitations preventing you from exercising your agency. So while you may not now, though, I think you are unhappy that maybe you spent more time than you should have hiding yourself and your power.
So how are we dealing with or will be dealing with this unhappiness. This is not very nice, fire signs. It's a magician reversed. So, you know, do you have to resort to trickery, sleight of hand, and, little phony trying to fake it? Fake something that you're not ready for to try to impress people more? Do you have to do that? That seems to be your initial reaction to this.
Well, in the context of the reading, it could be suggesting that fire signs are going to use their abilities for not so good things. And what comes to the top of the mind is something that's more emblematic of Scorpios: vengeance, revenge. And so it may feel that this is what could happen with some fire signs, that they may feel they have to get even in some ways, or they can be bad too in their own way.
God.
If they want. They can be as bad as they want to be.
No.
And so it's a lackening of the sense of morals, and that may not be, because this card really talks about order. So when it's reversed, it's saying it's talking about a lack of order.
So you're not dealing with this in the proper mindset. Are these feelings that you have, though, about this justified? Well, we have the Hanged Man reversed here. You want to take that first?
Well, are they justified? The Hangman reverse could suggest that you feel that whatever this time spent with that was, my interpretation, was such a waste of time, was a useless sacrifice on your part. The hours, days, months, etc., that you will never have back, that you may have felt you were deceived into not realizing what power you had in the situation.
I have another thought because of my interpretation, and the Hangman sometimes reverse talks about the ego. The ego interfering with things. And is it your ego talking here? Are you giving people really the chance that they deserve? Maybe you struck out at a job interview or something, it didn't work out, but shouldn't you just keep trying? There's people out there that will listen to you. Are you just overreacting and now thinking of nefarious ways to deal with this rather than giving this more time and realizing that sometimes our ego's talking? Everybody wants things instantaneously today, right?
Reminder.
We want that instant gratification, that people are noticing us, that people are listening to us, but it's not always like that. You need to step back a little bit from the ego and, give this some time.
Either way,
I think it's not justified.
Either way, it looks like ego got in the way and it wasn't really justified. It wasn't coming really from a more true part of yourself.
So how can you turn this frown upside down? What can you do differently? Oh, it's the Eight of Cups reversed.
And that's our second 8, because of course we started with the 8 of Swords in the beginning.
Yeah. And so with the Eight of Cups reversed, how you can turn that smile upside down is maybe there is something, that you need to look back upon. You need to look back upon all of this and determine what it is you need to do to turn that smile upside down. I feel here the answer lies in some past actions. Personally, I feel that you have taken fire signs, and you need to go back and examine what it is that's maybe causing this disconnect that you're missing. You might be thinking, people don't appreciate me, care about me, look at me. And really, it's not about that. It's about something else.
Fire signs, it's not too surprising you got the cups there, because maybe this is saying that sometimes you don't always give your emotions credence in emotional intelligence, understanding people from an emotional point of view. So this could be saying that, like Banshee said, it's sort of going back to maybe examine that again. And it plays into my idea about the Eight of Swords, so they kind of bookend each other, because the Eight of Swords, I didn't say it was now, but I was saying you were sort of felt you had been deceived about your agency. Maybe this is saying you get to go back and really re-examine that, because we saw that it wasn't justified necessarily because your ego may have been in play.
I feel you have to go back and re-examine the whole thing. I don't even know if we have to recap this.
Probably not. Just let's touch on that one again, maybe.
Which one?
The second card?
I don't know. I guess, but Yeah, because you have to be careful with your actions here and how you respond to all of this. You should not try to respond unethically. You should use your
Hmm.
powers of persuasion or whatever in a positive manner, not to manipulate others just because you want chops or acclaim or whatever.
Do this, not that.
Yes, and re-examine and be open and honest with yourself. Where are these feelings truly coming from? And that's what we have for you
today.
fire signs. Woo, a little bit of tough love. Ow, that hurt.
Oh, I think it's going to hurt more for the water. I just have this feeling.
Hey, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, our friends. You shuffle first, I believe.
Where does it hurt?
Yeah, our friends, water signs. This reading is for you. Like it or not. Well, you can always click off if you don't like it. I know. You can always change the channel. And you can change the channel in your life too. This is a nice compliment to today's happy hour. I think we had a great show, by the way. If you have not stopped in at our happy hours before, you should check it out sometime.
Absolutely.
10 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Times every Saturday morning. Except April 8th. And you know what? We should have announced that on Happy Hour.
Announce it.
Did we?
Yeah, you announced it. Well,
I didn't announce it today.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to be here next week, Happy Hour, because we have an engagement somewhere.
A live event. It's at the Arts and Craft Metaphysical Store's Spring Psychic Wellness Fair.
All right. All right, water signs.
Where does it hurt?
What is or will be making you unhappy?
Uh-oh. It's the King of Swords reversed.
Oh.
It could be that you dread a certain decision, that you feel you're bound to not make the right decision. Maybe you feel pressure to go along with other people. Maybe you just really doubt your ability to have a good decision in a matter. Like maybe it's a decision that won't please everybody. You might be experiencing or shortly the ramifications of a poor decision or move that you have made that you now regret, or perhaps maybe it's even that you missed an opportunity, because you waffled on a decision. Wow.
Sometimes with the King of Swords reversed, it can indicate cloudy judgment, and so, that could be haunting you now.
A decision you made was probably bad.
One other thing I have to say, because we had this card recently as a card of the day on a Sunday, not that long ago, and I indicated the fact that this could also be a very bitter, antagonistic individual that you're dealing with that's making you very unhappy. They can be bad. They can almost be to the point of abusive, verbally in particular, where they're overcritical and demanding. So this could certainly make people unhappy. All right. So how are you dealing or will be dealing with this unhappiness?
The best way, the Empress reversed.
Take care of you.
Taking care of yourself.
That's really good.
I think you're right. You honed in on the right energy there.
Yeah. This is really good here because this is saying this is time for you to just don't let these people or the situation, or even if you were responsible, you made the bad choices. Don't let this get you down. Take care of you. Give yourself some love and care, and support right now. We don't need to be our own worst critics, right? We need to nurture ourselves if something's gone wrong and if we have a boo-boo.
And, in some ways, I think this is also about your world, too. So maybe some of us, we lose ourselves or validate ourselves in how we take care of those around us, too. So it may be more important to you to take care of your children, your parents, your neighbor next door, than listen to all of the cranky, bitter old people who are trying to make you sad. Just saying.
All right. Well, water signs, are these feelings justified?
And it's the Ten of Cups reversed.
Yes. They are
I think
making
so.
you feel really unhappy.
I think that they even affect you beyond yourself. Like I just mentioned a moment ago, they affect you where you have sensitivity towards those others you care about, whether they're your actual family or some other formation of family.
So either these poor choices that you've made, or a person who's just becoming really intolerable to deal with,
Disagreeable.
somebody who's very toxic, is causing great unhappiness of the emotional kind.
It is
And it could
justified
be
what you
family,
feel.
it could be friends, it could be peers, coworkers, it could be a real toxic boss. Besides the idea that it could be about you and the choices and moves and decisions that you make. So yes,
Your
these
feelings are
feelings
justified.
are highly justified.
So then, how can you turn your frown upside down? And it's the Page of Swords reversed. So this one's going to be a challenge.
No, it's not.
Okay,
it's
go.
Not.
Go.
It's really interesting. The Page of Swords, upright or reverse, can be about communication, and it could be about
Sure.
stumbling and being, kind of, what's the word? Unbalanced. What do I want to say?
Tactful. Grace.
Grace, yes, lacking grace. And so there it is right here. How you can turn that frown upside down is to make sure, if you have to write the situation or speak to somebody or confront something, that you do it with grace. Make sure you're ready. Because, of course, this card reversed could say, if you're just going to stumble with your words, if you're not prepared, this person or this situation can overwhelm you. So the best way to avoid that is to prepare yourself, to arm yourself, to make sure you know what you're doing and saying.
Even if these are things that you dread about, your own agency, you made a decision that's haunting you, or you're dealing with somebody who sort of stands in the way of your happiness, this card says to approach with grace and to some degree diplomacy, that sometimes, you just have to take a little bit of that higher road in order to make an effect. It's true.
So, to briefly recap, do you want to briefly recap?
I'll go with it. So the first card, the King of Swords reversed, may have indicated that you felt something you had decided was hurting you because the consequences maybe didn't turn out the way you wanted. It's also possible, too, that there was somebody really toxic or disagreeable who was standing in the way of your progress. And the swords, of course, can represent that idea of progress. But then when we're talking about how we were dealing with it, it really is just strongly saying, go ahead and give yourself the quality healing time that you need. Think of yourself, think of those you have agency over, other people that you have to ensure they're happy too, besides yourself. Moving along though, it was totally justified. The Ten of Cups really seems to indicate that this chipped away not only at your own personal sense of heart, but like I said before, maybe others who are involved with you, family of any sort. So finally, the way to turn this around is to really reflect back grace rather than ingratitude. Thank them silently for showing you, how to not be.
Exactly. Everybody, I hate to say this, everybody comes in our lives for a reason, because when you encounter people who are abusive or hostile and mean, why are they here? What is the message? Are you really supposed to learn something from it? Maybe we're just supposed to learn to back off and run and know that we need to set up our own boundaries. We need to take care of ourselves and not allow others to, do a power trip over us. And or let situations get the best of us. So that's what we have for you, water signs. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Whoo, ouch. And finally, it's your turn, earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, this reading is for you.
We're going to find out where it hurts.
Okay. Well, we hope you've been taking in, I was going to say enjoying, but taking in these readings. as we think there's some messages here, that maybe need to be heard.
But we do have to say that tarot is a snapshot in time, and that
Right.
what we do, we have to say primarily is for entertainment. If you need professional help for anything, you should see a professional.
Now, there's a fine line between guiding and counseling, and, we're not professional counselors, but, we can offer life wisdom. We can, provide some coaching and motivation, but, truly there are professionals out there if you need them.
Absolutely. Earth signs.
Alrighty, Earth signs. Where does it hurt? Who or what will be making you unhappy? Is making you or will be making you unhappy now? Well, speaking of controlling people, is the Emperor reversed. Now, well, okay, Earth signs. I'm not ready to say this for certain yet, but I feel a work vibe already from this, because unlike the other card, which could be abuse in relationships or abuse in the workplace, this one seems to smack more of a workplace thing to me. But to be fair, the Emperor can also be a father figure. So it could be a dominating father figure as well. Let's just say that what's making you unhappy right now, maybe it's a spouse, is somebody who is dominating your life, micromanaging your life or your work right now. And really, you don't want all that scrutiny. That scrutiny, I think, might be causing you to be unhappy.
Right. There doesn't seem to be a really equity-based relationship between you and this person or this situation, and it may be that you feel like you have no voice there. You have no ability to either relay your concerns or to expect to be heard.
My little ram does not like that card. Okay.
Don't be that ram.
And that it's reversed. Be this ram. All right, so we know what hurts. So how are you dealing or will be dealing with this unhappiness? Wow, it came up as we got a repeat card. This is good, though.
And it's the counterpart.
So at least two of us in this reading, two of the elemental signs of the zodiac, are dealing with this rather constructively. Take care of you, nurture yourself. Don't let somebody, because I really do think rather than a situation, this is a person. Don't let somebody get under your skin. And sometimes you just got to wash it off. You just got to take a nice long bath, a shower, and just let that drain off of you. Some of the anger or some of the resentment you might feel by being belittled or, put in your place by an over micromanaging person.
Both the Emperor and the Empress have those qualities that sort of put them a little bit over. And this is saying the Empress really has bigger things to worry about. It's not just yourself. It's also, like I said last time with Scorpio, it's who you care about. You have the need to make sure that your family, your tribe, is also secure. You know what, though, Earth signs? There is one caveat with the Empress in this position for you, I feel. And I do want to caution you that regardless of what this person is doing, do not allow it to affect your work and your outlook on things, your productivity. Because the Empress reverse can also be, sometimes you feel blocked. Because, of course, if somebody is saying you're no good, you'll never be good, why can't you do things my way? This is the right way, yours is the wrong way. That can really stifle your creativity and your willingness to want to put out. Don't let that happen, because they could be trying to manipulate and sabotage you so you could lose a job, or, you won't get a project off the ground that really might be worthwhile. Wow. So, were you justified? Are these feelings justified? It's the World reversed.
Well, only in that it's blocking your progress from completing something really important to you. So it's really interesting I mentioned that here because it
Yeah.
almost seems like it ties into the world, you know? Do
And
you
I
think?
feel it ties into the emperor because if it's
Oh.
sort of a boss thing, they're the person who maybe is blocking you. They don't want to
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to your ideas or they don't want to listen to your concerns.
It could also indicate somebody who is blocking you from maybe moving. You know, the world is a completion of something so you can elevate to another level. So, in other words, is somebody blocking your ability to get a promotion, you know, or a specific position that you want at work? That's another possibility here. So, yes, your feelings are justified.
Absolutely.
And so finally, how can we turn this frown upside down, Earth signs?
And it's the Page of Cups. We had the Page of Swords for Scorpio, but now we get the Page of Cups.
So how can you turn that frown upside down? Well, I think by not, you know, when I look at these two reversals here, the Empress and the Page of Cups, by not allowing this to stifle who you are, you know, and to stifle the good work that you do, you know, you've got, you know, feel confident in yourself. Feel also, don't let it dampen that creative spark. Keep your imagination flowing. If you can't find an outlet for creativity and productivity here, maybe it's time to move on to another place completely and get away from this kind of toxic environment. Or if you can't find a way to express it here, find another way to do it through creative pursuits and hobbies and things of that nature.
So whether it was in the workplace or in other avenues of your life, the Page of Cups reversed here sort of does indicate maybe that feeling of a dampened creativity or dampened poetry, philosophy of life that you normally want to embrace, that you normally see and talk about. And I think this is saying, don't let that happen, you know. So maybe it's not so much workplace. It could be maybe you're a student. Maybe there's something you're really trying to learn how to evaluate. And this experience of sadness is really dampening that. You have to work a little harder maybe on finding that poetry in your life that you know to be there. All right.
I love it. Well, you know, I love it that these cards really speak to, you know, some problems we may be experiencing, some pain or struggles in our life, and that, you know, there is the ability to turn this around if we really want to, and we really want to push to do so. So I don't know if you want to recap this one. I'll recap it real quick, maybe. You know, it looks like somebody here who's micromanaging, manipulative, controlling, who's just getting in the way of your progress, blocking your progress. And oh yeah, that's right. And you are really trying to watch out for you, which is a good thing here. You also need to watch out for the fact that you shouldn't allow any hypercritical person to block your progress and your productivity and your creative ideas. And also over here, you can clearly see that your feelings are justified because you seem like you can't something is blocking you from finishing something or getting to that next level that you really want to be at. And ultimately, it's because, again, you need to find other ways to express this creativity, to be yourself. If you can't be yourself here, you know, we can't please, you can't please everybody. And the bottom line is you shouldn't always have to try. People need to accept people as they are. And if this is a situation that is untenable, hey, it's time to move on.
All right.
So we have for you, Earth signs. Good luck with that. That is our show. We're just dying to know what you have thought of this reading.
We really have to have feedback for our Unhappy Hour special.
Yes. But we have a special announcement to make.
Yes, we do.
This reading is not going away, is it?
Nope. And that may make you feel unhappy.
Oh, don't cry. Don't cry.
Where does it hurt?
Here, I got my therapy therapy ram here. Don't cry. This is good for us all. You know, we need
This was
to,
our maiden
this
voyage.
is our maiden voyage now. We have decided after all of this that this would be a regular recurring feature. It's not going to come out weekly because that's just a little bit too much pain, but it's going to be it's going to be
Like that ever bothered me.
at the start of every fourth quarter of the moon. So when the dark moon, you know, the dark cycle's beginning for the moon, we will be doing this reading as the moon fades to new.
We may record it a day or so ahead of time,
Right.
but we will release it as much as possible on that first day of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And the intention is to give you something to think about,
And process during that period.
during the dark moon,
Yeah.
and hopefully, you know, find a way to turn that
Frown
thing back around.
upside down. All right. Well, again, we hope you really enjoyed this. We welcome feedback, and you'll be seeing more of this type of pain from TFT.
So
Anyway, everybody, happy April Fool's Day. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you soon.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.